Hey, Paul here for Retro Gaming Arts, and today it's story time again. And today's story is about how I lost my NEO GEO Pocket Color for 7 years. And the reason why these stories are important to me is because this NEO GEO Pocket Color and that PlayStation, the PS1 that I did the video about here, those are the only things that I have from, quote, my childhood. Everything else I've had, I've obtained it starting at teenage years because my original consoles when I was young, I moved like 4 times and over the course of, so many years, and I lost them like throughout being a teenager and moving. So everything else is everything I have now is something that I had to re-get when I lost my original from my childhood. So to have things from my childhood come back is why these stories are important to me, like the PS1 where I played it when I was 12 and then got the same one when I was 17. So anyway, about this NEO GEO Pocket Color. This NEO GEO Pocket Color I got when I was 12, and I got it with Match of the Millennium because I remember seeing it and being like, Street Fighter characters with other characters and I don't know who they are. And it just opened my whole world up to SNK. And it was amazing, and I never seen anything like it with the. You hear the joystick. It's just amazing. It blew my mind. I was like, it's like a Game Boy and a Game Gear mixed together, but better. I want it. So anyway, so I got it when I was 12, and then when I was about 13, 14, I loaned it to my buddy Lamar because he likes Street Fighter. He saw it, he thought it was awesome, he wanted to play it. I let him borrow it, and I never saw it again. So me and Lamar, we're still friends, we're still cool. We played Street Fighter all this whole time, all throughout the years, but I never got my NEO GEO Pocket Color back from him. And I actually moved away from that town that I lived with Lamar. I moved away from there. And like 5 years later, I ended up going back to that town to visit all my old friends, to hang out. And this whole time, my NEO GEO Pocket Color was just gone, lost, forgotten. Not really forgotten, but I trumped it up to a loss and was like, I'll get one at a later date. So I'm hanging out at my buddy Nick's house, right? And I did the whole thing where, hey, can I go into your basement or your attic and just look around for stuff? And Nick was like, yeah, man, whatever. Like, he didn't care. So I was in Nick's basement and I was going through a closet, and I opened the doors, and just sitting right there on a shelf was my NEO GEO Pocket Color. And I was like, oh my God, like, in my head was like, this isn't the type of thing Nick would have. I was like, Nick wouldn't have a NEO GEO Pocket Color. Nick would play games and everything, but it wasn't something that he would have. And I was like, that's gotta be mine. And then I turned it around, Match of the Millennium, still in it, the only game that I had for it. And I was like, that's mine. And Nick and Lamar were friends, so it would have made sense that it would have ended up at Nick's house. So I went to Nick and I was like, Nick, I'm like, is this yours? Where did you get this? I loaned this to Lamar when I was like 14, and I never saw it again. He was like, if you loaned it to Lamar when you were 14 and you haven't seen it since, he was like, that's probably yours. Just take it. And I was like, yes! Like I was reunited with my childhood NEO GEO Pocket Color, and it felt so good. It didn't have the battery covers though; those were gone. So I recently bought 3D printed ones off eBay for $6. Whatever. Happy. So that's, like I said in the beginning, that's why it's important, is because this one is my original from my actual childhood. This is the oldest thing that I own. This is something that I got when I was actually 12, as opposed to everything else where I had to reaccumulate all the things that I had lost over the years in my teenage years. So that's why this is important to me. And thank you guys very, very much for watching. There's some great stories that you guys shared on the last video, but if you haven't seen the last one or the story about how I got my games, I did a video of the creative way, me trying to be creative to tell the story of how I got a lot of my games by going basement and attic diving in people's basements and attics. And that's where I found my NEO GEO Pocket Color. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for checking out all the other videos. Thank you for everything, commenting, liking, subscribing, sharing. I appreciate it greatly, and it means a lot to me. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.